Okay, what is up, everybody? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to Release Day Unboxing for Tuesday, February 11th, 2014. And before everyone says, what on earth is going on, you probably hear an incredibly annoying, high-pitched, droning sound going on. That is the fire alarm in my condo facility. And the problem is, the fire alarm in this condo facility has a nasty habit of, during the middle of the winter, especially when it's very cold, of going off as a malfunction. Now, this is actually a common problem with older fire detection systems. And of course, this building is old and they don't feel like ever replacing it or upgrading it because the condo association is a bunch of cheapskate motherfuckers. So this alarm has gone off no less than 3 times already today. It actually went off once when I was out picking up Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. And I know because as I was driving back from the game store, there were 3 fire trucks outside, which means that they went off. The fire departments were required to come here and check and then turn it off. As I was unpacking, I put in some DLC codes, which we're going to talk about in this video, and I was entering those into Xbox Live and talking to my girlfriend on the phone. It went off again. Now, it took them about another 15 minutes because they had to come out here again from the fire station. All right, they had to again deactivate the alarm. So that was about, I'd say, a half an hour ago. And then all of a sudden, it went on again. And at this point, it's absolutely ridiculous because what this means is the fire alarm is broken. But the problem is that my condo association has no on-site superintendent, which I don't even know how that's legal. But they have no on-site superintendent to come here and check out any problems or fix anything. So this alarm could literally be going off for the rest of today, I shit you not. And I have no right or I have no power to do anything about it besides just call the condo association and complain. So I said, I've been waiting over half an hour now for the fire alarm to go off. It has not, probably because, let's be honest, the fire department has better things to do than come back here every 10 minutes because the fire alarm's a piece of shit. So I said, I'm just going to go ahead and film my unboxing video. I apologize, guys. Obviously, it's annoying to you. Imagine living here and having to hear this the entire time today. All right. Really hoping that something happens, that maybe the fire department says, fuck this, and turns off the fire alarm or something. I don't know what they could possibly do, but obviously there's a problem. All right. So let's go through the unboxing. Hell, there may even be a chance that the fire alarm gets turned off during the unboxing. Who knows? And then we'll talk about how we're going to handle today because today's a special day in regards to gameplay. All right. So Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII. You might be saying, what the fuck? Really? A lot of people are saying that right now. They're like, really? This game exists? You're telling me that this game is a 3rd installment in the Final Fantasy XIII series. That's right. And, you know, it's funny because Final Fantasy XIII, I'd say it, but oh, how the mighty have fallen. Once the definitive #1 role-playing game in the world, now has kind of fallen by the wayside because of a lot of the decisions of management of Square Enix. Let's face it. The fact that they keep coming out with these MMOs, right, that are steering the series in a weird direction that really have nothing to do with the mainstream series. The fact that with Final Fantasy XIII, they took such a departure from the traditional Final Fantasy model that a lot of people got turned off, right? Now, I played the original Final Fantasy XIII how long ago at this point? You know what I mean? It was, 2009, I believe? And I personally eventually liked the combat system. I thought the combat system was quite interesting and fun once you figured it out. But I thought that the game was far too linear at the beginning. Took way too long to get to an open world part of the game. I thought that the plot was far too convoluted and too overdramatic. And that by the end of the game, most people were left scratching their heads saying, what the fuck did I just play? And, you know, it was funny because, as usual, in Japan, it was a huge bestseller. It did all right in the rest of the world, don't get me wrong. But then they came out with a sequel a couple years back called Final Fantasy XIII 2. And this one starred Lightning Sister Sarah and a few other, supporting characters going through time. There was some asshole who was trying to destroy time and destroy everything through some kind of a time warp system. And they went through time, changing it and doing certain things. It was, again, very convoluted, very confusing, And the thing that pissed people off the most is that when you beat the game, there was no ending. Lightning was in the game but never played a real major role. She's in the end of the game, isn't clear where she went or what she's doing, why she's even in it. Very confusing, very convoluted. At the end of the game, her sister supposedly sacrifices herself and dies to save the world, even though it's never clear what the fuck is going on, alright? And then, it didn't have a definitive ending, like it didn't explain anything. And then come to find out later on, if you wanted to spend extra money, you got a DLC that kind of fleshed out a little bit more of the story. So in this regard, a lot of people got incredibly turned off and said, what the fuck? So let me get this straight. First game, we played 20, 30 hours of gameplay, suffer through this very linear game until it finally gets open world and better. Really confusing plot, really annoying characters in a lot of cases, and it's, that game had an ending, a definitive ending. Boom, it's over. But then they decided to make a sequel to continue the story. The story's incredibly confusing in the sequel. Again, no one really understands it, knows what's going on. And sure, I'm sure there are people out there who could very logically map out what's going on in these games. The problem is, to the lay person, the common person, the story makes no fucking sense. It's too confusing. And this, I think, is what the problem is with this line of games, Final Fantasy XIII. Final Fantasy games have always had amazing, gripping stories. If you have a story that's so overdramatic and overblown that no one gets it, then you're going to lose your audience. And that's, I think, what happened with this Final Fantasy series, all right? So now, here we are, years later, they said, oh, we're going to continue it again. Like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. So third and supposedly final part of this trilogy of Final Fantasy games. We're starring Lightning. Supposedly the story is that the world is now ending. Now, we don't know why, so hopefully we're going to find out as we play the game. Why is the world ending? What happened? I thought that Sarah saved the world with what she did at the end of Final Fantasy XIII too. I guess not. So the world is ending. Supposedly there's only 13 hours left. And Lightning has to go around the world trying to save people. What that entails, I have no flipping clue. But everything's being destroyed. Monsters are invading. Crazy shit's happening. Lightning's running all around the planet, going against crazy opposition, trying to save everyone. So, again, a major departure from the previous game, because in this game, even though the last one had a time travel aspect, this one, you're only playing one character, Lightning. That's it. The whole game, you play Lightning. And what it is if you remember in previous games, it was a party of 3 who each had their own unique role, and then you could switch between different, say, classes or loadouts. So that you could have, okay, in one setting the guy's a tank, but then when the enemy gets staggered, now we go to all-out attack mode. Well, you're only playing one character this time, and this character, Lightning, has different outfits that she finds in the game. And these outfits allow her to basically have those loadouts. So she can be a mage, or she can be a warrior, or she could be a dragoon. She can have all these different outfits that she finds during the course of the game that give her different abilities. And it has the same kind of stagger bar and the stuff that was in the other games, but there's other new stuff too. Now, I got 3 downloadable, hold on, let me grab the codes here. 3 downloadable costumes for the game that were, I'm assuming they were GameStop only pre-order bonuses. Here they are. I got the Cloud Strife costume. So that's right, Cloud, the fan favorite main character from Final Fantasy VII. We've got the Dark Samurai outfit, and we've got the Flower of Battle outfit. Now, I don't know what any of these really mean, okay? I don't know how they're going to really pan out during the course of the game and the game's gameplay. But yeah, basically it's going to be new classes and things to use. Now, apparently from what people are saying, the game is only it has 13 hours of gameplay. And after 13 hours, the time runs out, okay? The game ends. But then the game starts up as a new game plus. So if you fucked up, you didn't complete the game in 13 hours of gameplay, or maybe you missed something critical your first run through, it'll reset and start back from the beginning. Now, in addition to that, what people are saying is that, well, even though, yeah, technically it's 13 hours and there's a clock that's running down, there are ways in the game to either freeze time or add time. Now, I have no idea what those are. I didn't buy the strategy guide because, get this, the strategy guide was $25. And I said, now, wait a minute. $60 for the game, another $25 for the strategy guide. do I really see myself spending $85 on a game that's the third in a series that should have ended with the first game? And in a lot of ways, I know I'm saying a lot of negative stuff. Don't get me wrong. I've invested quite a lot of time and effort into this series, playing both part 1 and 2. And it's not that I hate it. It's more that I'm baffled by it. Like, what is the creative direction of Square Enix? Who is in charge? And where are they going with it? And it's kind of funny because a fan tweeted me last night and said, well, Phil, you may be wondering why the combat is so different in Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. It's because they fired the guy who was in charge of it for the first 2 games. And it's like, well, if you knew that it was bad, why wouldn't you just make a new game instead of making another sequel? I don't get it. It just baffles me. But for me, here's the thing. Here's why, at the core of it, here's why I'm playing it. I've already invested so much time into this game series that playing the first 2 installments of it, I need to play the third. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the resolution. Even if the ending is horrible, I have to see it. And I have to experience it because I've already invested so much else into it that I want to see how it ends. Okay? So that's why I'm playing Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. So now, after I said all that, let's actually get to the unboxing aspect of the video. As you can see, it's incredibly basic. And you may be saying to yourself, but Phil, why are you playing this on the Xbox 360 when you played Final Fantasy XIII and 13-2 on PS3? It's very simple. I lost all my save files on the PS3 late last year when my PS3 crashed and it does not boot anymore, and I was not able to transfer those files over, so I lost all the save data. So even if there was a feature in this game to import save data from previous game and maybe get something out of it, I couldn't do it. It's just not possible, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the console that, again, last-gen consoles. I love the 360 for the controller, for the achievements, for the better online play. More often than not, there was a cross-platform game. I got it on the Xbox 360. I decided in this case, I'm going to get it on 360. Doesn't really matter. There's no real advantage to buying it on either other console, okay? So it says here, it all ends here. Doomsday results in a different journey for every player. Real-time battles empower your every move. Hundreds of game-changing weapons and outfit combinations. So there you go. No online playing, nothing like that. I'm sure, don't worry. Oh yeah, game content download. I'm sure there's going to be DLC for it. Don't worry. I'm sure it's coming because the game probably doesn't have an ending just like part 2. And you probably have to pay for the real ending later on. But I digress. So now, unfortunately, let's talk about reality. As you can hear, the alarm has now stopped fucking ringing. And it's actually funny because I'm going to show you guys something. I actually attempted to plug up my door, I'm not kidding, with paper towels to see if I could make the noise lower. And the truth of the matter is it has. What you're hearing right now is actually a muffled sound. The alarm is so fucking loud, right, that it would be twice as loud if I hadn't done what I did. So, as you can hear, it's quite fucking annoying. And I have to work. Let's face it, I'm going on break tomorrow. As of tomorrow, which was Wednesday, February 12th, I'm going on break. I'm not going to be able to work anymore for a week. So I need to work today. So unfortunately, what it's looking like is going to happen is I'm going to have to start the playthrough with this noise. And I know it sucks, and I know it's awful, but the bottom line is I have no ETA and no promise that this alarm will even get fixed. It could literally just go off all day. And this is what happens when you unfortunately live with an irresponsible apartment building and or condo facility where the management is fucking terrible and they don't give a shit about their tenants. If they cared, there would be a full-time super who would be here to fix this kind of stuff, but they don't care. So here's the bottom line. I'm going to have to start working. Now, I may wait. Right now, it's actually at 12:55 p.m., so I'm going to encode this video and upload it to YouTube. And in that period of time, I'm going to see if the alarm stops doing this. If it does, great. If not, I might have to set up and unfortunately start a stream, maybe even do a pre-stream with it going off and see how bad it is, see if there's ways I can muffle it on the microphone so that most people don't hear it too bad. And go from there. It's terrible. It's horrible. I'm a prisoner. I cannot wait to fucking move out of here, which I am, don't worry, I am having much headway in regards to that. And that's it. So thanks for watching the noisiest, most probably annoying release day unboxing you've ever watched. And hopefully this will get fixed and we'll have gameplay today. I'll have to let you know on Twitter. Thanks, everybody.